Hello everyone. Okay, so this video we're going to be looking at the area of triangle formula. So in the leaving certificate we have now unlocked a new way to calculate the area of a triangle, and in this instance now we can calculate the area of a triangle when we only have two sides of said triangle and the angle that is trapped between them, right? And that formula is given here as the area of a triangle is equal to a half AB sine C. So where A and B are just two sides of my triangle, and the sine C, where C is the angle that is trapped between the two lines. So how do we derive this formula? So if you recall, we know the area of a triangle is equal to a half the base times the perpendicular height. The perpendicular height. Well, in this triangle here, I'm not given the perpendicular height. So if I was to find the perpendicular height, I would then be able to solve this area. So if I draw a perpendicular line down, ding, 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 it's perpendicular here. How can I find the perpendicular height? Well, if you see here, I have A, I have X, and I have my angle C. So if I isolate out a right angle triangle here, I have two sides and an angle. So I have my opposite side and I have my hypotenuse. So I know sine C is going to be equal to X all over A, where X is my perpendicular height. Well, now, if I rearrange this to get X on its own, I'm going to get A sine C is equal to X, or my perpendicular height. So now I have my perpendicular height and I have my base, right? So if I rub this out here and I'm going to put A sine C, and I have my base B. Well, if I put into my formula, so area equals a half base, well the base is just B, times the perpendicular height, which is A sine C. And so that is how we derive the formula up here. So this formula is given in your log tables, so you don't necessarily need to know it off, but it's very important that you remember that all we need are two sides and then the angle that is trapped between them. So let's look at some questions here. So find the area of triangle ABC. So I have a triangle here. I have two sides, 12 and 4, and I have the angle between them, 30. Well, looky here, right? I have two sides, 12 and 4, and I have the angle that's trapped between them. So I can use my formula. So I have A, B, and this is going to be the C in my formula. So area equals a half AB sine C. So a half times 12 times 4 sine 30 degrees. So let me put this in my calculator now. So I think sine 30 breaks up into a half, I believe. Yes. So I'm going to have here a half times 12 times 4 times sine 30, which is going to be 12 centimeters squared. And that is going to be my area. Let me just double check. Yes, it is. So that's the area of this triangle, 12 centimeters squared. And that's it. All you need are two sides and the angle between them. So we can also use this formula now if we're given the area of a triangle, and we can use that to find what a missing side or angle is. So for example, in work example 3.2 here, in the given triangle, the area is equal to 13.6. Find the measure of angle A to the nearest degree. Well, I know the area is equal to 13.6, right? So I have two sides, A and B, and I'm looking for the angle that's between them. So this is going to be my A, this is going to be my B, and then this is going to be my big C. So area equals a half times 8 times 7 times sine A. Well, I know my area is equal to 13.6. So I have 13.6 is equal to a half times 8 times 7 sine A. So simplified left-hand side. So 13.6 is going to be equal to 28 sine A. Divide both sides by 28. So I'm going to have 13.6 all over 28 is equal to sine A. So remember, to find what my angle is, I have to use my inverse. So my angle A is going to be equal to sine inverse 13.6 all over 28. So if I put that in the calculator now, sine inverse 13.6 all over 28, close my bracket. I'm going to get my angle A is going to be equal to 29.059, and it says find the measure to the nearest degree. So my answer is going to be 29 degrees. So now, using the area formula, I was able to find the calculations of the missing angle. Okay, again, just to do a few more examples here. So find the area of this triangle. Again, I'm just finding the area. I have two sides, 20 and 8, and I have the angle between them, which is 45. So put in my formula. So the area is equal to a half times A. So I'm going to call this A, B, capital C. So 20 times 8 sine 45. Put all of this in my calculator. I'm going to get... the area is equal to 40 root 2 centimeters squared. And that's it. Let's have a look at two more. So this is an interesting one here. So an equilateral triangle has the area of 60 centimeters squared. Find the length of each side. So now this question, we're finding a missing side. So what do we know about an equilateral triangle? Well, the thing with an equilateral triangle is, well, if I can draw one out here. Well, all sides are equal, first of all. And also, every angle is equal. And since every angle is equal, that means each angle is going to be 60 degrees. So now I think I have enough information to solve for x. Because I have the area here is equal to 60. So the area, remember, a half AB sine C. So let's just pick two sides and the angle between them. I'm going to pick this one, A, B, and then this is my angle C. So area is equal to a half times x sine 60. Well, my area is equal to 60. So I have a half times x is x squared. And then sine 60 is going to give me something crazy. Times root 3 over 2. So now I want to get x on its own. So I want to get my fractions here. So I'm going to multiply across by 2. So I'm going to have 120 is equal to x squared times root 3. I want to get x on its own. So I'm going to divide both sides by, root 3 over 2. So, want to get rid of this one. This fraction is going to multiply by 2 again. So, it'll be 240 is equal to root 3x squared. Get x on its own. So, 240 divided by root 3. So, it's going to be 80 root 3 is equal to x squared. Now, find the square root of that. So, I'm going to have here x is equal to, so the square root of 80 root 3, I'm going to get 11.77 centimeters. And that is going to be the length of each side of my equilateral triangle if it has an area of 60. And again, you can always sub your answer back in to find out if you're correct. So I'm just going to sub it in for myself here just to double check my workings. Times sine 60. And again, it does work out. Finally, Let's look at the last one again. This one now, again, we're asked to find the area. Not the area, we're given the area and we're asked to find a missing angle. So again, look, one side, two side, angle in between. So area equals a half AB sine C. So area is equal to a half times 20 times 28 sine A. Right? 50 equals 280 sine A. 50 divided by 280 is equal to sine A. Get A on its own. So A is equal to sine inverse 50 over 280. And A is going to be equal to a number. I don't know what it is. I'll tell you now in 2 minutos. Uno momento, por favor. 50. 50. That's my bracket. And we're going to get the angle is equal to 10.286 degrees, but it's probably asked the nearest degree, is it? No, so it doesn't ask us to round, so I'm just going to leave my answer like this. I think that's sufficient enough. Right, and so that is the area of a triangle formula, and I hope you enjoyed. Right, so bye.